What's up YouTube? What's up everyone? I'm back with another video. I'm so sorry first of all if this video took longer than expected. First of all, I was waiting for this one. Yeah, this is the Japanese kit, of course. The one of 2022, which I love it so much. So thank you so much to my friend who bought me this. Seriously, like I really appreciate it and I love it so much. So now it's time to predict my Asian qualifiers. Who is going to be the 8 Asian teams who will participate in the next World Cup of 2026 in North America. I did a previous video where I talk about the African qualifiers and also the South American qualifiers. And if you want, you can check somewhere. I think I'm going to post it here or I'm going to put it on the description down below so you can go watch and see my predictions of those 2 continents as well. So for the Asian qualifiers, it's a bit trickier. So before I start and give you who I think is going to go to the World Cup, I have to tell you what is the format of the Asian qualifiers. So they have 5 rounds. If you ask me, that's a lot of rounds. Seriously, like a lot of rounds. So the first round is already done. So you had like the worst teams ranked based on the FIFA ranking. They had to play home and away 1v1 and the winners would join the round 2 where you have 36 teams from Asia remaining. In the second round, they will be divided by 9 groups of 4 teams. And what happens is the 2 best teams of each group will advance to the 3rd round. And now in the 3rd round, we will have 18 teams remaining. So they will be divided into 3 groups of 6 countries. So number 1 and number 2 position in the 3 teams will go directly to the World Cup. As for number 3 and number 4, they will qualify to the 4th round where we'll have 6 teams and they will be divided in 2 groups of 3. So the 2 best teams in those 2 groups will go directly to the World Cup, and the second team that remains in both groups will go to the 5th round. And the 5th round we will have the 2 runners-up face each other, and that runner-up will go to the international playoff. Well, they will face another country from another continent, and if they win their 2 matches or maybe 1 match, depends on the FIFA ranking, they will go to the World Cup. So as you can see in the screen, the first round here, it's already done, and we have the teams that won and have been placed in the groups. So now let's go with Group A. So in Group A, we have Qatar, India, Kuwait, and Afghanistan. So for me, Qatar and India should pass this group, and I think they will join the round 3. As for Group B, we have Japan, Syria, Korea, DPR, and Myanmar. So for Group B, I'm predicting that Japan will pass comfortably this group, and I think they will be joined by Syria. Group C, we have Korea Republic, China PR, Thailand, and Singapore. I think Korea Republic should qualify for the 3rd round quite easily, and I'm going to predict that China will join them as well. As for Group D, we have Oman, Kyrgyzstan, Malaysia, and we have Chinese Taipei. For this group, I'm predicting Oman and Malaysia to qualify to the 3rd round of this competition. Yes, I know Malaysia is a big bold choice, but I don't know, like I've been watching this Malaysian side and I think they could pull it off. Now as to Group E, we have the Islamic Republic of Iran, we have Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, and Hong Kong. So for me, this group, the Islamic Republic of Iran, are a decent side of Asia. They participated in 3 or 4 back-to-back World Cup participation. So I don't think they're going to flop here. So Iran should pass. And also Uzbekistan will go with Iran because Uzbekistan has been a team that has been improving so much lately. And I think they have a lot to offer. And I can't wait to see them progress. As for Group F, we have Iraq, Vietnam, Philippines, and Indonesia. So here for me, Iraq are the favorites to pass, and I think I'm going to give it to Vietnam. I think it's another decent team that has been improving for some years now, and I think this is their chance to once again prove themselves and go to the 3rd round and hopefully dream for a qualification this time. So Group J, we have Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Tajikistan, and Pakistan. With the increase of Saudi Pro League, with the World Cup they did, Saudi Arabia is definitely one of Asia's best teams today, and I think they will pass comfortably this group. And I believe Jordan will join Saudi Arabia to the round 3. So Group H, we have United Arab Emirates, we have Bahrain, we have Yemen, and we have Nepal. Here, I don't want to disrespect Nepal nor Yemen, but I don't think they have the level. I think the UAE and Bahrain will pass this group. and we'll go to the round 3. As for the last group, we have Australia, Palestine, Lebanon, and Bangladesh. So here, I think Bangladesh don't stand a chance to try and compete for that second spot. Also, Australia, they've been improving so much. That World Cup that they did was fantastic. I think they're in a great level right now, and I don't see them flopping. So Australia should pass. As for the second one, I know Lebanon, the last World Cup qualification, they actually passed, but that's because Sri Lanka dropped at the end. But here, I'm gonna go with Palestine. I think Palestine can, especially with everything that's happening right now, I think that will give some strength to the Palestinian players, and I hope the best for them. So let's go Palestine. As for round 2, it's a bit trickier here. There's a little ambiguity here because I don't know if they're going to make the group with the FIFA ranking, or they're just going to make the group based on what their performance was in round 3. But so what I did, I just created my own round 4 based with the FIFA ranking, and this is what I got. So in the first group, we have Japan, Australia, UAE, Vietnam, Jordan, and India. Group B, Iran, Qatar, Oman, China PR, Bahrain, and Palestine. And finally, last group, Korean Republic, Saudi Arabia, Uzbekistan, Iraq, Syria, and Malaysia. So Group A, I'm going to say here it's a bit trickier to predict this, right? Because like now you really have like the top of the top teams of Asia. I'm still positive to say that Japan will qualify and will go to the World Cup. I think Japan should finish first in this group. As for the second one, I'm really torn between Australia and UAE. I'm gonna give it to the Socceroos because they, like I said, they have been improving so much in the recent years. As for the 2 remaining teams that will qualify to round 4, I predict that the UAE will go to the round 4. And I think here I'm going to give it to Vietnam. I think Vietnam, they have the Vietnamese Messi with them, and they have like some great talent that they can go. And I think they have the level to at least go to the 4th round in this group if this happens in real life. I think for Jordan, India, unfortunately, this is the end of the road. And yeah, that unfortunately it's like that, but I don't think they have the level compared to UAE or Vietnam. Now let's go to Group B. Group B, this is another interesting group. Here, honestly, I'm going to eliminate them immediately. Palestine. I don't think Palestine have the level to compete against those 5 teams that are there. So now there's only 5 teams remaining, and it could go either way. Honestly, it could go either way because like Oman, China, and Bahrain, I think they're kind of in the same level. But I think there's 2 that stand out in this group, and on that will be Iran and Qatar. I think Iran and Qatar will qualify and will go directly to the World Cup once again. And as for the 2 other teams that will go to the round 4, this is, like I said, this here is really tricky, but I'm going to go with China. I think China will go to the 4th round. And here, honestly, I'm going to give it to Bahrain. I think Bahrain have a shot to at least qualify to the 4th round. And unfortunately, I have to eliminate Oman. But seriously, here, I think like if this would be the real life group, I put them in the same level, the 3 of them. So this is really either one of them could have passed. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to choose here Bahrain and China. As for the last group here, I'm going to go with South Korea and Saudi Arabia to go and qualify to the World Cup once again. These 2 teams have too much level compared to the others. They have some really talented names that play in Europe and in Saudi Arabia Pro League. So I think like they're in a good moment, South Korea and Saudi Arabia, to just miss the World Cup. As for the 3rd and 4th group, I said it many times, Uzbekistan is a team that should have gone to the World Cup a long time ago. Unfortunately, they were always so close, but unfortunately they couldn't go. But this time I think they're going to go to round 4, and they're going to be followed by Iraq. I think Iraq has the level to pass to the next round as well with Uzbekistan. So that leaves us with the hypothetical 4th round, which once again I use the FIFA ranking to divide the 2 groups of 3. And we have, in the first group, we have UAE, Bahrain, and Uzbekistan. And in the second group, we have Iraq, Vietnam, and China. So in the first group, I think actually Uzbekistan would qualify and would go directly to the World Cup, being this the first time they go to a World Cup, and that will be really nice. Like seriously, will be really awesome to finally have Uzbekistan shine in the World Cup. As for the one who will go to the 5th round, I think I would give it to the UAE. I think the UAE, I know people will tell me UAE is stronger than Uzbekistan, and I would say like they're kind of in the same level once again. But like I said, here I believe more in Uzbekistan than the UAE. But I think UAE will definitely go to the 5th round and face another Asian team. Group B is really interesting because we have like Vietnam, China, and Iraq. And I believe like they kind of have the same level here. So this is really tricky, but I'm gonna give it to China. I think China will once again come back to the World Cup, and it's gonna be like what, like more than 20 years actually. So China to come back to the World Cup, and I believe the Asian team that will go to the 5th round will be Iraq. I think Iraq will go to the 5th round. And now we finish with the 5th round with the UAE and Iraq. And for me, I think the UAE will win against Iraq and will qualify to the playoff, to the international playoff, where they will face 1 or 2 other countries from other continents. So guys, that concludes the video of my predictions for the Asian qualifiers. I know that round 3 and 4 and 5 are very hypothetical, you know, so it really depends on the draw, but I wanted to go a little bit further and do my own draw. So I hope you like that. And like I said, sorry once again if this video took a lot of time to make. Honestly, like I wanted to make this really a nice video and a special video for you guys, and I wanted to pay some respect to the Asian continent because I think like you guys have really some interesting teams, and I really hope the Asian teams will get stronger, and I would love to see one of your teams win one day the World Cup. Who knows? I mean, this one would be great. Anyway, with that, I conclude the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video, don't forget to please leave a huge like because that really helps me a lot. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, please. That really helps me a lot to grow my channel, to grow the community, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Peace, everyone.